Have you ever been faced with a moment where you had to choose between what's easy and what's right? What if your one decision could save lives, change your future, and even reshape history? This is the story of Rahab, a woman who made a risky choice to hide two strangers that everyone else wanted dead. And that choice, it didn't just save her, it placed her name in the lineage of kings and even the Messiah. Let's dive into this incredible true story. Our story begins in the ancient city of Jericho, a powerful, fortified city with massive walls and a proud people. But just outside Jericho, something big was happening. The Israelites, led by Joshua, were preparing to enter the promised land, a land God had promised them generations earlier. But before they made any move, Joshua sent two spies to secretly explore Jericho. The two spies entering the city cloaked, cautious. These spies had one mission: sneak in, gather intel, and get out without being caught. But Jericho was no easy place to hide. Soldiers were everywhere, watching every stranger. So where do they go? To the house of a woman named Rahab. Now here's what we know about Rahab. She lived along the city wall, and she was known in town as someone with a rough reputation. But don't let that define her. Behind that reputation was a woman with courage, intelligence, and faith in a God she hadn't even fully met yet. When Rahab welcomed the spies into her home, she made a bold move. She didn't report them. She didn't turn them in. Instead, she hid them. Soldiers banging on doors, city alert, tension rising. Word got out quickly. The king of Jericho heard there were spies in the city. He sent soldiers to Rahab's house. "Bring out the men who came to you," they demanded. "They are spies." Rahab standing at the door, calm but alert. And here, Rahab faced a decision: tell the truth, and these men die, lie, and risk her life if she's caught. She took a deep breath and told the soldiers, "Yes, the men came to me, but I didn't know where they were from. They left at dusk. If you hurry, maybe you can catch them." The soldiers ran off into the night. But the truth? The spies were hidden on her roof, under stalks of flax she had carefully laid out. Rahab walked quietly to the rooftop, speaking softly. Then Rahab did something even more remarkable. She climbed to the roof and said to the men, "I know that the Lord has given you this land. Everyone here is terrified. We've heard how God dried up the Red Sea for you. We've heard how you defeated mighty kings. Your God is the God of heaven and earth." Can you hear her faith? This woman, living in a city that didn't worship the God of Israel, believed. She believed before Jericho fell, before she saw any proof with her eyes. She had faith in her heart. Then she made a request: "Please, when your army comes, show kindness to me and my family. I protected you. Will you protect us?" The spies gave their word. "Yes, hang a scarlet cord from your window when the time comes. Everyone in your house will be safe." That night, Rahab helped the spies escape through her window. Since her house was built right into the city wall, they climbed down a rope and disappeared into the hills, heading back to Joshua. Joshua receives the report from the spies. The spies told Joshua everything, especially about Rahab, the brave woman who hid them and trusted their God. Fast forward a few days. The Israelites approached Jericho. They marched around the city once each day for 6 days. And on the 7th day, they marched around 7 times. They shouted, the trumpets blasted, and the walls of Jericho collapsed. Stone by stone, the mighty fortress fell. But one part of the wall, still standing. Rahab's house, with that scarlet cord hanging from the window. She and her entire family were spared, just as the spies promised. Rahab and her family, leaving the ruins, were welcomed into the Israelite camp. Rahab didn't just survive Jericho, she became part of Israel's story. And here's the amazing part. Rahab later married a man named Salmon, had a son named Boaz. Yes, that Boaz from the story of Ruth. And generations later, one of her descendants would be Jesus Christ. So, what do we take away from Rahab's story? Your past doesn't define your future. Rahab had a reputation, but God saw her potential. He honored her faith, not her background. 2. Faith takes courage. Rahab risked everything to do what was right. Sometimes following God means stepping into danger and trusting Him with the outcome. 3. One decision can change everything. Because Rahab chose to hide the spies, not only was she saved, she became part of the greatest story ever told. Rahab wasn't perfect. She didn't have all the answers. But when the moment came, she believed, she acted, and she trusted. And maybe that's the kind of faith we all need. Faith that chooses courage over comfort. Faith that believes even before the walls fall. Thanks for watching. If this story inspired you, like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories from Scripture that still speak to us today. See you next time.